in a true crime to record. I was hoping to get that done and record that today before it goes dark, but I haven't managed to. And I wanted to get something recorded before it gets dark because fireworks going off and my poor pooch is terrified of fireworks. So I thought we'd do this instead. So this first one is from user/kittycat0930, and it's called "I made a huge mistake and almost got kidnapped by a stranger. I only remembered bits and pieces, but my mum and husband filled me in. This happened in 2018. My parents, my husband and I were driving to Indianapolis to see some family. I'd found out about my husband's 4-month emotional affair with his unstable ex, and I was really struggling and I felt extremely alone. His ex had tried to break us up and I was afraid she'd succeed because of how manipulative she is. I lied and told my husband I was having a cigarette, whilst actually I went to the bar. I ordered 2 double vodkas with a splash of orange juice, and I was really connecting to the bartender when she said they were closing. She gave me another bar that was close by. I was already feeling relaxed when I got to TGI Fridays. I ordered 2 more double vodkas and I was wasted. So I went outside to have a cigarette to wake me up. I was leaning against a light pole in the parking lot. Time passed and I suddenly realised I was being walked and pushed into a car. Suddenly I heard my mum yelling to stop that. I was her daughter. This creepy man was challenging her on whether we were related. It was so insane and I don't remember much, but I do remember he's trying to steal me. This guy would not give up and was basically holding me hostage. That's when my mum said she'd call the police. He drove away so fast. His passenger driver, I'm assuming that's meant to say, his passenger door was open. My mother and husband told me later that they tracked my phone and came to where it said I was. I had my phone in my purse, so I don't know if the guy got rid of it or what, but it's fucking scary. They found my phone discarded. Then my mum called 911 because I was extremely drunk and not making sense. I woke up in the hospital. I was tied down because apparently for my safety. When I actually woke up, I had huge bruises on my arm from the guy trying to get me in his car, and also an incredibly huge bruise on my chest. I didn't know what happened but felt guilty and never really understood what happened. Update: my husband and I worked it out and we're good now. Wow, that is pretty scary. Oh, I am so sorry. Sorry, I've put my phone on silent now. I always forget. I'll try to edit that out, but I am so bad at editing, so I'm really sorry if I can't. Okay, so this next one is by Michelle_Rose23. This one's a little longer. It's called "I I once went hiking with this guy. He showed me a dead body. This started when I was at my childhood friend's apartment for what was supposed to be a fun little movie night. We hadn't hung out in a while and we were catching up. Her place was cosy, a little disorganised and full of girly decor. We were in our comfiest sweatpants, about to watch princess movies. Her apartment isn't the most tidy. Things are a bit scattered around, but it's clean and so authentic, which always made me feel at home. So we decided on ordering pizza for dinner. She mentioned that Sherwood, someone I hadn't met yet, would bring the pizza over. At first, I was not happy to hear that. I thought that meant she had invited other friends, a boy, over to join us, which wasn't what I had in mind, but I was in for a surprise. Sherwood turned out to just be our delivery guy for the night. He wasn't joining us. When he got to the apartment, there was this awkward air about him. He was obviously nervous, fumbling a bit with the pizza boxes, and not making eye contact. My friend introduced us quickly, and it was clear from her overly thankful demeanour that Sherwood did a lot more for her than just fetch dinner. After handing us the pizza, there was this brief moment of forced small talk. My friend was super nice to him, despite his awkwardness. He wasn't the best conversationalist, and seemed really out of place. Then Sherwood asked for my number. I was in a tough spot because our mutual friend was sitting right there, so I just gave it to him. Yeah, we chatted for maybe 5 minutes before my friend gave him a cue to leave, with something like, "Thanks so much for dropping this off." He seemed to get the hint. We both gave him a hug before my friend said something like "drive safe," giving him another kind of cue to leave. When I asked my friend what that was all about, she basically explained that Sherwood was her unpaid personal assistant. He did her grocery shopping, he dropped off pizza, and he did all this other stuff. I think Sherwood was just a really lonely guy, desperate for interaction, especially female interaction. My friend and I were both young and immature back then. We were about 23, but I think we both knew something was seriously wrong with Sherwood. It was a little hard to articulate because we couldn't point out exactly what his problem was. Sherwood started a group chat with my friend and me. He just sent a meme or two every week. It felt like he was trying to stay relevant without being intrusive. Maybe he was just used to being sidelined or even blocked by other girls in the past. It felt like he was trying to make me remember him, but also carefully trying not to give me a reason to block him too. I can't speak on his behalf, that's just what it felt like. Sherwood also offered help with errands. The first time I said, "Thanks for asking, but no." He asked every weekend after that. One day I made the mistake of accepting his help. I knew better. I had recently found a great deal for a new washing machine on Craigslist, but I had no idea how to pick it up and install it. And when I mentioned it in the chat, Sherwood excitedly volunteered to take care of the whole thing. He handled the whole pickup and installation like a total champ, which saved me so much hassle. I tried to pay him for his efforts because I wanted to show appreciation, but he wouldn't accept any money. I insisted. Eventually, he suggested that I could repay him by joining him for a hike. Like what? I was uneasy about this. It felt a bit too personal and almost like it could be mistaken for a date. But Sherwood framed it as nothing more than a friendly outing, like a transaction to balance out the favour. I agreed to the hike. I rationalised it by telling myself it was a fair trade for installing the washing machine, and that it was genuinely a form of payment, especially since I didn't think he had too many friends. This hike felt like maybe a way for him to have some companionship. I thought it might be nice helping him. Part of me was still uneasy about spending time with him in such an isolated setting. The day of the hike, Sherwood picked this trail that was nearby. I had been there before. It's gorgeous. As we walked along together, he chatted about ordinary things like work, the weather, and his hobbies. Everything seemed normal, until he suggested that we go off the main path to see something special he wanted to share. Like, what could that even mean? We reached this secluded spot, and there, oh my gosh, was a dead body. My heart pounded so violently as Sherwood stood there, so eerily calm and nonchalant. The casualness in his demeanour made me feel even more uneasy. It felt like he wasn't just showing me a dead body, but also revealing this darker side of himself. It smelled bad, but not like in the movies. I didn't know how long it had been there. I am not a biologist, but my guess is that it smelled a lot worse before, but now it had gone down. At that moment, I mumbled some excuse about needing to get back quickly, and started walking briskly towards the main path. I was urging Sherwood to follow me. I thought maybe this was some twisted mind game, like the way to intimidate me or show me he wasn't just some harmless little boy. Maybe he was trying to send a message that said, "You should know, I'm familiar with things like this." Or there's another possibility. Maybe he just wanted me to think about him more. Sometimes when I talk to people, I feel like they only notice me for the time that we're together, and then they won't think of me again until the next time we meet. It's possible Sherwood felt that way with me, and maybe he thought showing me a dead body would make him a bit less forgettable. I have no idea. But on the surface, he seemed oblivious to how inappropriate this was. As we walked back together, I was in full fight or flight mood, instinctively looking around to see if there were other hikers or rangers, anyone who could make me feel like I wasn't alone. The moment I'd spotted someone else on the trail, I called out, not to expose Sherwood, but just asking for directions back to the parking area. I wanted to make sure Sherwood and I wouldn't be left alone together. I asked this gentleman to walk us back to the parking lot, and I wasn't going to take no for an answer. I kept pretending like I was confused about his directions, and eventually he agreed to just walk us there. and told her I was with Sherwood. I suggested he could drop me off with her and that we'd be there in 20 minutes. Sherwood agreed. That was my way of making sure that if anything happened, it was on record that Sherwood was the last person to have been with me. Also, I immediately texted my friend what had happened to get that on record too. When I got to her apartment, we said thanks to Sherwood and kindly told him to go away. I had already told her through text, but then I started going into all the detail. The fact that the body had insects, the fact that the face was decomposing but still recognisable, etc. Her reaction was pure horror. Not just about the dead body, but also how nonchalantly Sherwood had treated the whole situation. She confessed she always sensed something was way off about him, even though she'd never imagined anything this disturbing. We both agreed that we needed to remove Sherwood from our lives. She admitted she felt stuck and had become too reliant on Sherwood to just fire him cold turkey. We planned out how we would do it. It was this gradual phasing out plan. We would limit our interactions to times when others were present. We would slowly reduce our responses to his texts. I would never ask for his help again, and my friend would ask for less and less help. Sherwood kept texting during weekends, offering to run errands, or asking if we needed anything, to which my friend would reply, "I'm trying to work on being more independent, but you've really been such a help." Eventually, as my friend started dating someone new, she introduced Sherwood to her boyfriend. Sherwood never contacted her after that. I had called the cops the same night of the incident, but it was a while before we heard more news about it. At least a full month later, a news report confirmed discovering a dead body in the area where Sherwood had taken me hiking. They had made an arrest, but not of Sherwood, but of this other guy that Sherwood followed on Instagram. I have no idea if Sherwood was connected to the murder. Reflecting on everything, I think there's one clear moral of the story. Trust your instincts, which, yeah, always trust your instincts. And there's a comment on this one, which is a good theory. They say, "I wonder if he was hired to take out the person he showed you, especially with the location being out of the way. Makes you wonder. Glad you're safe, OP." And OP has replied saying, "Yeah, I have no idea what his involvement was. I think he just knew the person who did it, and that other person was like, 'Can you keep a secret?' and told Sherwood. Because Sherwood didn't get arrested, but his friend did. Maybe both were involved, but I have no idea." Yeah, that was a wild ride, but I'm glad OP is safe. this man had been high on crack, living in our basement, and regularly entering my apartment both when I wasn't home and when I was sleeping for months. While he seemed like a nice guy, he was regularly high on hard drugs, and that changes people. I still get chills knowing what he could have done. I still get chills knowing he could have done anything to me and my child, and I would never have seen it coming. The worst part is that the charges somehow got dropped, and they never even consulted us, and they never gave us an option as the victims. This was not even close to his first criminal offence. Wow. My estate is notoriously soft on non-violent criminals, regardless of whether it was a victimless crime or not. My local police department is also notorious for making deals in exchange for information on even small-time dealers. We didn't get any justice. Luckily, this didn't have much lasting effect on my mental health, just more of a what the fuck. Can't believe that really happened. It feels like a fever dream. Jason, let's not meet. Wow, that was. I am so glad that I don't have a basement, although I do have a loft. Maybe I should go and check it. No, I'm too scared. That's not happening. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it there for today. Because I might, if I stop now, I might be able to get the other one recorded, or maybe another one of these pillow ones whilst I carry on. So I'm really sorry about the fact that I've not posted for months. I've had a lot going on, health-wise, and just it's just not been a very nice few months, to be honest, with various things. So hopefully I can get back to posting at least once a week. Get this true crime one that I'm halfway through researching and writing up finished. Hopefully I can record that. I don't think I'll get that recorded today by the time I've finished researching. So maybe tomorrow. But I'm going to get that up as soon as it's recorded and edited. I'm not going to say I'm going to stick to a schedule. I'm just basically going to do what I can when I can, because I don't want to put myself under too much pressure, because that's when I just flake and crumble and I can't do it. So sorry, that's one of my cats chasing the lead of the microphone. Charlie. So yeah, I'm not going to say like I'm going to do 1 or 2 videos a week or whatever day it's going to come up. I just want to get back into recording and get some content out for you guys. So yeah, hopefully I'm back. And I've never said this before because I'm like